1, 2, 3, jump.
Glad to have you with us for another edition of the Texan Live High School Football Wrap-Up Show. I'm Sean Bajani. Bert Brocker. Can I be honest real quick with you?
Absolutely.
This is a stressful time for a lot of head coaches, a lot of high schools, as playoffs are getting closer and closer. This is now the least stressful, part of my life over the course of the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's been absolutely nuts. I'm glad I was able to come in tonight and not have to cover my ears and have you guys not spoil an Astro score for me.
Well, exactly, because the funny part was the first game that you actually wanted that to transpire, of course, Heather Coffey comes walking in, and boom, there it is, gives you the score right off the bat. So we did a good job of doing what you asked from there, allowing you to go home and watch the games. But let's talk about unbelievable. Astros, y'all rock, baby. What a great job, and unbelievable what you've done for the great city of Houston. And, this is something that you can go all the way back to way before me. Boy, we've been waiting on this. So congratulations, guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, this is the Texan Live High School Football Wrap-Up Show in partnership with Cron.com. We've got a lot of great Friday night action to get to. We're going to recount some Thursday night action and preview Saturday's matchups as well. But first, we're going to take you out to the game of the week, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. The battle line on 59, New Caney and Porter going at it this evening. Jeremy Branham and Bert Brocker had the call from Texan Drive Stadium. Take a look.
2, 3 blockers right side. Cooper takes it, runs right, flags fly in. He's into the end zone, but second down and 8 from the Porter 12-yard line. Cooper in the gun, rolling left. Cooper looking. Cooper firing for the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown. Had to wait for the signal, but Cooper put it on the money. Russell in the shotgun, 2 receivers each side, over to the right shoulder. Russell takes the snap, takes the handoff, throws right, in and out of the hands, and then picked off. Touchdown! Coming back the other way, New Caney across the 30 to the 20, blockers in front to the 5 and into the end zone. Jalen Nill with the interception return, and it's now a 3. An opportunity to make it back-to-back if they can win tonight. Cooper fakes the handoff to Air, keeps it himself, runs it up the middle, across the 20 to the 15, breaking a tackle to the 10, cuts outside to the left and into the end zone. Jordan Cooper.
New Caney, the final 28-0 victors over the Porter Spartans this evening. You called it. That 50-plus yard return for a touchdown on an interception, that was a huge play of the game, and that had to absolutely suck the life out of Porter.
Well, and that was a pass that should have been caught. That was a ball that was thrown out there. It looked like he was going to, make a short gain. It wasn't going to be a first down, but he was still going to pick up positive yardage, bring up third down. Instead, the ball bounces in the air. Next thing you know, it's intercepted, run back for a touchdown. But I want to make sure I give a shout-out to McLaughlin. He plays both ways. He's a defensive cornerback, and he also caught the second touchdown of the game. Jordan Cooper, give Jeremy a little bit of a jab whenever you see him next time. He says Cooper turns around, hands off to Air. If you go back and re-listen to what he said, and Cooper did, I was giving him all kind of heck about it, because Cooper literally turned, and he's like, uh-oh, my freshman running back's not here, Sanders. So he turned around. What does he do? Bounce off 2 tackles. Next thing you know, 20-something years later.
A little miscommunication like that. I mean, it's not uncommon at the high school level, but, the important part is he turned something, something into something.
And he scored a touchdown to make it 28-0 and pretty much put the game away at that point in time.
Right. New Caney improves to 6-1 in district, while Porter falls to 4-3. That's District 21-5A. We'll go to 6A now, District 15, Klein and Klein-Collins. Klein coming into this evening, winners in 6 of their last 7, Bert. Their only blemish against Klein Oak this season, and that was a really close game. They took on Klein-Collins tonight. Michael Silvers called it out at Klein Memorial Stadium. Take a look.
Snap back on 3rd down. Throw over the middle. That is complete. Isaiah Spiller across the 40. Left side. He strides across the 40. 35-30. Keeps his feet turning. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. Touchdown.
Wow.
already. Klein Collins leading 9-0. And Ryan will throw. Up top and wide open. Alex Brown catches it at the 20 and strides into the end zone for the Klein Collins touchdown. First and goal from the 1. Snap, handoff. Spiller breaks it out to the right side as he will lean into the end zone for the touchdown. Thought they got it down to the 1. Ruled him down at the 3. Lemke on a rollout, drops it. Kaiser with a flag down. He waltzes into the end zone.
Now the final 22-9 Klein Collins continues their perfect season. They improved to 8-0, 6-0 in district, while the Klein Bearcats suffer their second loss on the season, now 4-2 in District 15-6A. I think an important note here, this was a 22-9 ball game. Klein gave everything they could possibly give to Klein Collins, a team that, Bert, had been averaging 55 points per game over the course of the last 3 weeks.
Well, and if you see on the 2 big plays, 2 of their scores come on long yardage. The receiver that was wide open down the middle of the field, and of course Spiller catching the ball and then outrunning everybody down the edge, cutting back to the inside and making it happen and getting into the end zone. So this is a team, you know, there was a lot of chatter this week. I challenged everybody out there in the field. We had a lot of comments, a lot of conversations, and you'll see a little later, you know, this Katy, Klein Collins, looking back, you know, there's a lot of back and forth, and a lot of people would have loved to have seen that game on the docket. Unfortunately, as you've heard us say a couple weeks in a row, that game didn't happen due to Harvey. So we probably won't know, but I think these 2 teams by far are the elite 2 teams in the city of Houston right now.
Wow, I mean, and that's saying a lot because there's some terrific teams out there. District 25A, that's where we go to next. Magnolia West and Tomball at it. This game, one of the later ones to finish this evening. Magnolia, again, coming into tonight, perfect 7-0 and 5-0 in district. J.W. Smith had the call from Tomball Stadium. Take a look.
2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 in the near. Here's the snap, hands the ball off. Going up, stutter step, breaks the tackle, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone. That's going to be Preston Deming on the 21-yard touchdown run. 2 to the near side, 1 on the far. Here comes the snap. It'll be a keeper going up the middle. Matucha breaks the tackle, breaks another up the middle, and he's going to get the score. Big hole for John Matucha. So 1st and 10 here. Ball's not going to be spotted at the 37-yard line. Here's the snap. Fakes again. Drops back to pass. He's got Taylor at the 10-yard line. Taylor will take it in for the score. Touchdown, Tomball. Here's the snap. Under pressure from the blitz. Drops back to pass. Tossing towards the near side. And it's going to be caught in the end zone by Simon Gonzalez. Simon Gonzalez. Here's the snap. Hands the ball off to Holland, following his blocker up the middle. And he breaks free down the far side of the field. And Holland will take it to the end zone. And the winner will advance to the playoffs. Here's the snap. Hands the ball off to the 41. Fakes to give over the middle. It's going to be caught at the 40-yard line. And down to the far side. And into the end zone for a touchdown. Tomball be in action too in a game that's important. Here's the snap. Drops back to pass. Fakes to give. Now he'll roll to the far side. He's got some room. He's going to take off towards the end zone and find it.
51-27, the final. Magnolia West over Tomball. Magnolia improving to a perfect 8-0 now, 6-0 in District 25A action, while Tomball falls to the 500 mark at 3-3 in district. A big loss for them.
Yeah, it really was, but Magnolia West is clearly a really, really solid team. You'll see in the power rankings, we'll see what they did. But this is a team that, if they continue to put up the points that they've been putting up, they very well could go deep into the playoffs.
All right, and it is now time for our power rankings in Class 6A. You know, we were looking for some movement from last week, Bert, into this week. And as you take a look at the graphic here, we come in at 10, Cinco Ranch. Ridgepoint dropping to 9, Atascocita moving up to 8. You see Lamar at 7. Langham Creek, their perfect season continuing. They're 6, Cy-Fair 5, the Woodlands, Westfield, Klein Collins, and Katy. And I go back to your previous statement, Bert. Klein Collins, Klein, you said 2 of the best teams in the area right there. How do you feel about this looking at the rankings right now?
Well, I think the big thing is Klein Collins has got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Tonight, though, Klein proved that a defense can play against them. The question will be is, as they get deeper into playoffs, Drew Zabota does a great job, but can this Klein Collins team go on the road and beat people? Because that's the thing about being in that region too. You don't get to play as many games here at home. You do start traveling relatively quick. So in that scenario, it sometimes puts you at a disadvantage. So again, that team has a lot of talent. Right now is looked at as one of the powerhouses. The question will be is how deep can they go, if not all the way in the playoffs?
No doubt about it. Well, one of the powerhouses since I think I've been alive, Bert, Katy. The Katy Tigers, it's just that way. Every single year they find a way, and they've been dominating people this season. There's no doubt about that as we head out to the Katy ISD action brought to you by the City of Katy. Straight Jesuit taking on the Katy Tigers. This was Thursday night's game. It was a great matchup, I think, Bert, on paper. Straight was going to have their hands full, though, with DeAndre Glass. Tully Stadium is where Jeremy Branham had the call. Take a look at some of the highlights.
Handoff, Glass leaping into the end zone. DeAndre Glass from 2 yards in will punch it in, and the Tigers are on the board first, 6-0. Looking to throw, Marshall the jump ball, left sideline, and it is pulled in for the touchdown. Tyler Pulick makes the grab. It's under center. Goal line package, just one receiver moving to the left side to the right side of the line. Handoff Wiley. Wiley sprinting to the right. Wiley leaping into the end zone, and he's in. Clock at 23 seconds. Marshall this time will hand it off on the draw. Up the middle goes Glass, breaks a tackle, cuts inside, and he's loose. Across the 50, into straight territory to the 40. Down the right sideline to the 35-30. Sheds another tackler to the 20. Down to the 10-5 and into the end zone. DeAndre Glass.
Touchdown, Tigers.
From 67 yards out. Tied in motion right to left. Pitch out to Glass. Glass running left side. Glass diving into the end zone. He's in for the fourth time tonight.
Touchdown, Tigers.
There you have it, 49-7 the final as the Katy Tigers destroy the Straight Jesuit Fighting Crusaders. DeAndre Glass just amazing in last night's game. 209 yards, Bert.
On 16 carries.
16 carries. I mean, a tremendous output. I mean, this is what he's been doing all season long. And let's not forget, Oglesby had a very nice night as well. I think 73 yards on the ground for him. Interestingly enough, you know, you'd think those two guys would just pile up the touchdowns, but they came from other players contributing on this team. It's, you know, there's an old saying, and you're a golfer, you know, it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive.
Well, look at Glass, though. Look at what he's done. You know, he really comes off of a major injury last year. Coach Gary Joseph, you know, brings him back slow, gives him an opportunity, and every week, you know, Glass is steadily increased. And, you know, that's what you want to see. This young man, we've seen for years now, super talented. But you also got to give, you know, Coach Joseph a lot of credit for bringing him back, not rushing him back into the lineup. And kudos to him for helping DeAndre, you know, have the kind of year he's having.
You said for years. It feels like it's literally been for years that he's been dominating for Katy. I mean, I think he's going to, you know, retire soon and draw some sort of a pension. I'm not exactly sure. Seven Lakes and Mayde Creek is where we go. We keep you in District 19 6A. This action from tonight, from Friday, Seven Lakes coming in at 1-4 in district play, along with Mayde Creek in a 19-6A battle. Scott Weiss called the action from Legacy Stadium.
3 yards to his left, strong motion. Jet sweep to the short side. Gets southbound, goes Jalen. 40, 30. They're not going to catch him. The afterburners come on. Touchdown, Jalen Strong. With baton in the backfield. Give it to Williams at the 25, 20. Williams at the 10. Touchdown, Spartans. Second touchdown of the night. Tailback. Right back up the middle, Williams. Williams at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Second touchdown of the night for Williams. And he's just missing the linebacker almost every time. Looking downfield, it's Yakubu. He's got Jalen Strong, touchdown. Inside the right hand. Three-step drop for Yakubu. He throws it down the right side for Jalen Strong at the 30. In stride at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Rams. Kendrick Leggins, Williams, off the middle goes Baton. Baton at the 30. 20, 15, baton, touchdown, Spartan. Out of the shotgun. Travion goes off the right foot. Three-step drop. Looks left, throws down the left side to Nuevo. Nuevo at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
There you have it, 42-35, the final. Seven Lakes over Mayde Creek. Mayde Creek falling to 1-5 in district, while Seven Lakes picks up its second win on the season, now 2-6 and 2-4 in the district. And the district wins are certainly the big ones. But, you know, the big plays that went for 6 on the ground tonight for the Seven Lakes Spartans is absolutely what sank the Rams. I mean, running plays of 35, 50, and 53, Bert, all going for 6.
Well, you know, and a coach builds on things, and that's just one of these victories that you realize you don't have a shot getting into the playoffs. But right now, you're looking for moral victories. And, you know, I heard somebody, I actually saw something tonight online talking about some of the scores where high school teams are beat. You know, this is a game that went back and forth, 2 teams that battled it out. And, you know, again, it was a big moral victory for Seven Lakes tonight.
Sure, a good ball game, if not for those 2 early touchdowns by Seven Lakes. You know, maybe Mayde Creek, you know, able to make this more of a game than it was. They had to constantly fight back, and they stayed within a score. Just couldn't get over the hump, but absolutely a huge district win for Seven Lakes in terms of, you know, if you want to call it a moral victory, but you always like to beat up on the, you know, other teams in your district. There's no doubt about that. Before we get to the 5A power rankings, our top 10 5A power rankings will stay in 19-6A. Taylor and Tompkins. You know, Tompkins has had a really rough year. They played in a lot of close games early this season. Still looking for that elusive first win of the year. Patrick Creighton called it from Rhodes Stadium. Take a look.
And Montgomery is deep for the Mustangs. Angles the punt, takes a big bounce. Montgomery fields it on a hop. Across the 20, 25, 30, down the near sideline is across midfield, and he's got an escort. He's going to go 10-5, touchdown Mustangs. Ben Montgomery playing quarterback. Read option up the middle. Ben Yeager, first down, breaking away. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Falcons, 50 yards for George Ben Yeager. Miller keeps it himself. First down, charging to the end zone, touchdown. How did Miller come out of that pile?
Yes.
4th and goal, Beak up the middle to the end zone, touchdown.
There you have it, 31-10, the final. Taylor over Tompkins. Tompkins now 0-8 on the season, 0-6 in District 19-6A play, while Taylor improves to 5-3 overall and 4-2 now in District, Bert.
Yeah, and we said last week they kind of control their own destiny, so win next week, they're for sure in. And I believe they're in anyway, looking at this district. But Taylor took control last week in winning a game, and then, of course, coming back today with a big victory. And that's important going into the playoffs with victories under your belt. So, you know, Beak is their running back's a very, very talented young man. And so, you know, that's another team that could get hot as they head to the postseason. No
question. We're going to get to our 5A top 10 power rankings in just 1 second. But coming up, we do have 3 more Thursday night games. In fact, a terrific one in District 17-6A that we'll get to now. Time for our 5A top 10 power rankings. And as you look here at the graphic on your screen, we start at number 10, Barbers Hill, coming in just behind Foster at 9. You have Tomball at 8, Waltrip at 7, Fort Bend Marshall at 6. You see all these teams. Brenham moved up a spot. Magnolia West, Crosby at 3, Bert. Angleton 2 and Manville 1. I get it. Manville, I feel like, having watched them a couple of times already this season, could compete at the 6A level still. But are you at all surprised about those rankings right now? And Crosby coming in, perfect season. They've been destroying folks. Third? Well,
low? I mean, Angleton, similar deal. Manville, similar deal. You know, you keep talking about, you know, last night, their star running back in the second quarter, I was actually calling that game last night, did a little something to his shoulder. Think he's going to be okay. Think he's going to be back to take care of business. Be interesting to see how that plays out. Shoulder injuries can go either way, but, you know, Crosby. And then you got Magnolia, you know, West taking care of business, dominantly, undefeated. And, you know, and you go down, Barbers Hill, we talked You know, if Barbers Hill loses next week to Porter, and even though they knocked off New Caney, that district this year, if K Park wins, Barbers Hill is sitting at home looking from the outside in.
Right, because they lost the head-to-head.
They lost the head-to-head. So as Barbers Hill moved up, they had a bye week, but they're going to have to take care of business next week and win their game to secure that they have an opportunity to play in the postseason.
This is what it's all about. Meaningful games, you know, the final week of the regular season. I mean, that's what you play for. I mean, you play for a seat at the table. So,
yes, you do.
I think that's, you know, some terrific action for us. And I can't wait to bring it to everybody next week. 3 more Thursday night games that we're going to get to. It's brought to you by Panera Bread. We go out to District 21 5A. Crosby, I just mentioned them, perfect. Looking to stay perfect. Taking on the Humble Wildcats from Turner Stadium. Chase Snyder had the call. Take a look.
Left side, that's Isaiah Robinson. Robinson with a hole. Robinson explodes into the end zone. Touchdown Humble. They strike first. Down and goal from the 9. Howard looking, steps up. Rolls to the left, throws on the run, and it's caught for the touchdown. Howard finds a hole right side. Howard inside the 10. Howard is into the end zone. Touchdown, Crosby. And Solis to his left. Play fake to Solis. Howard fires. End zone. Touchdown, Chance Smith. Right side. Here's Demas with a hole. Demas down the sideline. Austin Demas cuts it inside the 5, and he is in for the touchdown. What a run from Demas. First down and 10, Patterson in motion. Jet sweep pop pass. Patterson makes a man miss, cuts it back left, still on his feet. Gets a block from Howard. Patterson turns it upfield. Patterson down the sideline. Cedric Patterson's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Crosby. Left side, Coker. Touchdown, Crosby.
Making things happen, that's what Crosby did all night long. 59-20 the final over the Humble Wildcats. That one of those last few highlights. I'm going to give him credit for an 80-yard run. Even though it started from about the 35, he had to go 80 for the 35. I mean, well done again by Crosby.
And you look at Patterson, he's a wide receiver. He's had a bunch of big catches. In that case, they, do a jet sweep there to the right side, realizes there's not much there, turns around, runs back, misdirection, makes 2 or 3 people miss, and all of a sudden, as you said, about 70 to 80 yards of running.
Right.
But he's get credit for a 35-yard touchdown.
I give him 80. I give him 80. And defense. This is something you've been looking for from Crosby. I mean, they hold Humble to 20 points this evening. Now, this is, again, the team that's coming in averaging about 63 points per game on the season. I think an impressive showing at, again, the right time of the year. And they've been doing it all season long, has Crosby. District 17 6A is where we go next. Cy Ranch and Cy Ridge. Cy Ridge coming in at 1-7 on the season. Cy Ranch 6-2. Scott Weiss had the call from Pridgeon Stadium. Take a look.
Out of the shotgun. With Pino off the right shoulder of Brooks. Play action. Looking for the back corner. Greer. Right side. There's a blue can across to the Buffalo. Off the right side goes Pino. He's losing the 30. 20, 15, 10. Pino will score. Mustang. Nope, that is Fletcher, sorry. And Christian Fletcher, freshman running back.
(21-12) the final. Cy Ranch over Cy Ridge. The Mustangs improving now to 7-2 on the season and in district play. What a night by Elias Pino. 109 yards on 16 carries for Cy Ranch in the victory with a couple of touchdowns himself.
Well, in Cy Ranch, as you spoke about 3 weeks ago, they hadn't lost a game in this district. And, you know, so they're in a different place. They have to win every week to make sure that they get into the postseason. And this team, they jumped up 21-0. And then all of a sudden, Cy Ridge fights their way back in this ball game. And, you know, it's just, again, you talk to the AD over there, Ray Zapata, this district, every week, you have to come to play. They're just that good of teams in this district.
They bring it. There's no doubt about that. We go to 16 6A competition now. The Westfield Mustangs taking on the Eisenhower Eagles. Westfield looking to stay perfect on their season. Mark Johnson called it from Thorne.
Another fake handoff going along. Man-to-man coverage. That pass is going to be caught in the back of the end zone by Allie Walter. 37-yard strike, and Westfield gets on the board first with 50 seconds left. Gibson rolling out, now going towards the far sideline. He's got the first down. He's still on his feet as he cuts it inside. He's going towards the end zone, and this one is going to span 51 yards into the end zone for this. Up the middle, this one could be very dangerous. Still on his feet to the 25-yard line, still cutting it across to the 20-yard line. What a run. Whole line stands from each side. This time the football is going to be handed off and up the middle into the end zone for the score. Bridges trying to get into the end zone, and he does. 3 carries for Bridges. He finds the end zone for the second consecutive week.
31-3, the final. The Westfield Mustangs over the Eisenhower Eagles. Westfield now a perfect 9-0 on the season, 7-0 in district play. A couple of really solid, more than solid, very impressive performances, really, on the ground from Gibson and the other young running back, Rayshawn Jones. 98 yards from Jones on just 10 carries, and Gibson doing the job as well in the air and on the ground.
Yeah, and you know, you look at Gibson, he had a 37-yard pass and a 51-yard pass, but I've got an opportunity. I've actually called 2 of their games this year, and this is a team, he can stand flat-footed and throw the ball 50 yards, 60 yards. This young man's got a big arm, and, you know, and I think as they get deeper into the playoffs, that will determine. The defense is solid, but, you know, it's going to depend on him to continue to be able to fire that ball downfield, because everybody knows when you can throw the ball that far downfield, it gets those cornerbacks and safeties where they have to stay back where they're supposed to be.
Right.
And then, of course, that opens up the running game.
No question.
So, you know, he's a big part of how deep Westfield can go. And I will say this, I haven't given Coach Meekin, I've known him for a long time. Meekin's another one. Westfield's a team that's kind of sitting in there. We're talking about Katy, we're talking about the Woodlands, we're talking about Klein Collins. But, oh, by the way, Westfield's undefeated. And, you know, this team knows how to win, too. So
nobody's forgotten about them. They are definitely there and ready to roll here in the next couple of weeks as playoffs get geared up. Coming up, we'll bring you more Friday night action, including a great story developing in District 21 6A competition. Can't wait to bring you that. It's time now, though, for our Houston area Viewers' Choice Player of the Week. This week it features Miles Battle from Cy Creek. Bailey Logston has the rest.
Hey guys, Texan Live out here to present this week's Viewer's Choice Athlete of the Week, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. From Cy Creek High School, Miles Battle.
Fires again over the middle. It's caught. He's got some room. It's Battle. Caught! Touchdown! Miles Battle! It is going to be caught by Miles. Touchdown. Oh my goodness, did he catch it? Yes, he did. It's going to be caught by Miles Battle. Touchdown.
Coach, talk to me about what kind of athlete and player Miles is.
Miles does a terrific job for us. He's obviously a very, very, very accomplished athlete. He can run, he can jump, he's got great spatial awareness, knows where his body is in space, and does a good job for us. He's a bright kid, you know, comes from a really fine family, so I can't say anything but compliment.
He's thrown up some pretty big numbers, so do you think that he's going to be able to keep up those numbers the rest of the season and maybe in the playoffs?
Well, he better. If we want to do what we're supposed to do, we try not to be, you know, dependent on just one guy. So we spread the ball around a lot, but certainly Miles' contributions are huge, and we're going to need him to play at the highest level possible to be successful. Miles is still a guy that likes to play football. He likes being with his teammates. He enjoys himself out there, and I think it manifests itself in the game. when you see the joy he plays with. So it's a lot of fun to have him around.
Well, Miles, how does it feel to be recognized with this kind of award?
It's great. You know, I come out every week to give my heart or do my best, and just getting recognition for it is great.
So you had 2 touchdowns, 12 receptions, you had the ball for 172 yards. Talk to me about those numbers.
You know, the ball was just coming my way, and I was just doing everything I could to get upfield and score points.
And you are a hard player. We've watched you play. You hustle. You work hard on the field. You work hard at practice. So how are you going to keep doing that and maybe take your team to playoffs?
Keep doing my best out here with my teammates and going back and forth with the defense. It just makes each other better.
Fires again over the middle. It's caught. He's got some room. It's Battle right down the seam to the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown.
Renteria looking deep to Miles Battle. One-on-one coverage. And whoa, my goodness, did he catch it? Yes, he did. Kaylin Morton had great coverage. Wow, what a play. Renteria looking for Miles Battle. Go route. Throws it up. It's going to be a jump ball. It's going to be caught by Miles Battle. Touchdown. 24-yard touchdown reception by Miles Battle.
Congratulations again to Miles Battle out at Cy Creek. Last week, Bert, 12 catches, 172 yards, a couple of touchdowns. The Oregon commit, as you saw, Bailey Logsdon is a tall individual. Miles, about 6'4", 188 pounds. You can absolutely see why the Oregon Ducks are very excited about him. He and Cy Creek took on Cy Woods. We'll get to that game here in just a little bit, but very impressive young man.
Well, I mean, I think the big thing that you watch him, he goes to the highest point and comes down the ball. And, of course, Oregon likes to sling it. You know, it was cool to see them follow us, pick up some highlights from us, repost some tweets and stuff from us. So anybody out there in Oregon watching, thank y'all very much. Appreciate the love for TexanLive.com. And, you know, and that's the cool part. I saw TCU, you know, 150,000. They retweeted something earlier. So those are the kind of things when you know major football programs out there are paying attention to you. Florida, you know, it's just, that's a cool thing, U of H, of course. So
no doubt about it.
Makes us excited.
Well, the Pearland Oilers are a major football program down south. They've been doing it and doing it for a long time. They took on Brazos Wood this evening. Paul DeVore had the call from the rig. Take a look.
Are the safeties. So snap comes back, and Landry wants to take a handoff throw. Got a man on the run. It's Linton, and Linton's going to be inside the 5, stays on his feet, and he's going to be in for a touchdown. So send Brown in motion, and first down and 10, and Stanford wants to keep it, turn, and swing it to Casas. Got a catch at the 5, and Casas going to walk in, touchdown. A little blitz coming, and turn and hand it off to Linton. Linton's in the open. Linton looking for a block from Tillman. Got it. Linton, 20-yard line. Linton down to the 10, inside the 5, touchdown. Him and 3 receivers to the far side. Turn around and hand it off to that single setback. He's got a big hole. Breaking away. It's going to be Seabury. Seabury down to the 30. Seabury to the 15. 10, 5. Seabury. Touchdown. Send Linton out of the backfield. Turn and hand it off to Benefield. Up the middle. 5. Touchdown.
9-14 Oilers over the Bucks this evening. Good, solid win for Pearland as they improved to 4-2 in District 23 6A play. Now 5-3, Bert, now on the season as Brazos Wood falls to 0-4, winless in district play.
Well, but, you know, Pearland has to win games like this if they want to get into the postseason, and so nice win by them. You know, that's what you have to do in district. You have to win the games that you're supposed to put the check mark by so that you make sure you see yourself playing in postseason.
No question. District 16 6A is where we head out to next. Nimitz and Davis. Now, Nimitz has had some problems offensively. Really, you know, over the course of the last couple of 3 weeks, we've seen a lot of baseball games from them. They had their hands full with the Davis Falcons this evening from Thorne Stadium. Patine Delgadillo had the call.
Here on 3rd and goal, Prudhomme looking for Charles in the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown. But he's able to stay in and play. Prudhomme, keeper, end zone, 3-yard run. It's a home game for Davis. Even though both teams call this as the home field. Here's a block punt. Picking it up, running it back into the end zone. Touchdown, Falcons. Prudhomme's got a man in motion. Hands this one off to Bryant. Bryant right up the middle. Dashes his way right into the end zone. Touchdown, Falcons.
37-2 the final in this ball game as Nimitz falls to Davis. Davis now improves to 3-3 in district play, 3-4 on the season. Nimitz, really a big game for them and a disappointing loss as they're now an even 500, 3-3 in district play.
Well, and the thing is 3 weeks ago they were 3-0. You know, and again, you go against Westfield and you kind of see where that probably is going to end up. But they've come back, a game that they felt like they could win last week. They did, and they lost in, like you said, I don't remember the exact score, but it was something like 12-13 to 6 or something like that. And then you come back this week and offense didn't score a touchdown. They didn't score anything tonight. There was actually a holding call in the end zone that gave them their 2 points, and Davis put 37 on them. So, you know, this is one of those deals where next week's going to determine who that fourth team gets in, and I assume it's going to come to head-to-head.
Yeah,
so
they've got to figure things out offensively. Otherwise, it's going to be a shorter season that they had envisioned. Sterling and Kingwood. You know, I mentioned a terrific story developing in District 21-6A. Well, this is the game in which that story might, you know, really be a huge one for the city of Kingwood. And the Rangers and Mustangs were going at it this evening from Turner Stadium. Mark Johnson had the call for you. Take a look.
Hawkins as he got the 19-yard pickup. Now he'll Wilk it. He finds a hole, breaks loose. He's got one man left to beat. It's Wheatley. Wheatley cannot get to him in time and in the end zone for the touchdown. Slayton 2 in the backfield with him. On a 3-step draw, looks up the field, fires it way downfield. Triple coverage, diving after it in the end zone. Touchdown, Kingwood. Nolan Powell with it on the sweep. We'll take the carry. Kingwood trying to get him stopped in the backfield, but he breaks loose and he's gone. To the 20-10, 5 touchdown Sterling. What a run. First one was a fumble. It led to a Sterling score. And it comes fumble. Kingwood picks the football up to the 1-yard line. Kingwood's going to have the football as he's got 2 blockers for him. But Slayton's going to get the call, and he's in the end zone for the 1-yard touchdown strike. Slayton again with 2 in the backfield with him. Will hand the football off to Amarantos. No, he'll keep it himself. Go up the middle. He's got some good yardage. He's still on his feet to the 5. Dives forward. Kingwood is in the end zone as Slayton scores a 13-yard touchdown run. What a play. What a couple of times here. Slayton, the fake handoff running up the middle. He'll cut it inside. He's still on his feet to the 10-yard line. Slayton's in the end zone. Kingwood scores a 25-yard touchdown.
There you have it, 39-24. The Kingwood Mustangs take out the Sterling Rangers. Kingwood now 3-3 in District 21-6A, 3-5 overall on the season. And the story that I'm talking about developing is, in fact, the Kingwood Mustangs. After the city of Kingwood had been ravaged by Hurricane Harvey, what a feel-good story this could be for the entire city of Kingwood if this team, with one huge game, Bert, next week, if they can pull it off.
You're winning, you're in. It's that simple.
That's it.
Kingwood's got to beat CE King next week, and they're in the playoffs. And, you know, and like you said, this is a team that has had some big highs and big lows. Tonight, they got down early. They did not give up. Slayton, you saw him throw a deep ball down the middle into triple coverage, but he threw it where his receiver could catch the ball. His receiver did, and then you saw him take control of the game with his feet and have 2 more big runs for touchdowns. So this is a team that Coach Campbell, you know, what a job he's done. All of their kids were dispersed from Kingwood. That high school was not open this year. Summer Creek is housing both Kingwood and Summer Creek, and, you know, it's just one of those stories that if they make the playoffs, what kudos to everybody.
Absolutely.
And good luck next week against CE King.
Absolutely. The heart, the relentlessness, the determination that the Kingwood Mustangs showed this evening, you know, just incredible. And you really just, you want to get behind a program like that. Kingwood strong. Absolutely. District 17-6A is where we go next. Cy Creek, Cy Woods going at it this evening. Chase Snyder had the call from Pridgeon Stadium. Take a look.
is the running back. He has Tesh in motion, and they flip it to him. It's going to be reversed. It's going to be a throwback. He's got a man wide open at midfield. The pass is hauled in by Barrientos, and he is down inside the 10. Jones under center. Keeps it, flips it, right side. That's Barrientos, and Barrientos is going to score. Touchdown, Cy Falls. Jones, play fake. Has a man open, touchdown, Jacob Kaner. 2nd down and 8 from the 45. Play fake, Jones. Over the top, man wide open. Hold in, touchdown, Connor Falk. 1st down and goal from the 2. Renteria looks left, throws left. Man open, touchdown, Dawson Unruh. But there's a penalty marker down. Jones to throw, he's got a man open again. Barrientos down the sideline. That's going to be a touchdown, Cy Woods. 1st down and 10. Renteria steps up and fires deep. Got a man open. Jack Hook. Hook off and running. And Jack Hook is going to score. Touchdown, Cy Creek. 1st down and 10 from the 8. Screen, right side, Hook breaks a tackle, and he's in for the touchdown.
There you have it, Cy Woods, the winner, 59-29 over the Cy Creek Cougars this evening. You know, a game within District 17-6A, playoff implications on the line. This is a huge, huge loss for the Cougs.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, I want to make sure that I point something out there. Chase Snyder, one of our top call guys, 16-year-old Kingwood High School student, and this young man, if you're listening to him call a game, he got thrown into action all the way from over here because Alex Del Barrio, who calls a lot of games for us, got called up by ESPN to do some college game tonight.
Right.
So Chase steps up, and he apologized in the actual broadcast. He said instead of
I think he said Cy Falls, yeah.
Cy Falls, but he corrected himself. But Chase Snyder, remember that name in the broadcast world. You will see this young man grow into be one of the greats someday. Bert Brocker said it here first tonight.
You know what? I can't kill Chase for that. District 17-6A with all those size schools. I mean, who wouldn't make a mistake like that every once in a while?
Exactly.
Good job, Chase. And well, that's where we'll stick is 17-6A. Cy Springs and Cy Lakes going at it this evening. Cy Lakes looking for that elusive first victory on the season from Cy Fair FCU Stadium. Jay Darneal had the call.
No, quick toss out there to number 1. That's Barber across the left side. Can he get in? Stretches for it. Yep, touchdown. Mateen in the shotgun. Throws the ball deep. Has a man. Caught! Touchdown! Quarterback looking deep right now. Has a man across the middle. Wide open. Makes a move. Gets to the outside. Touchdown! There's the snap, the give up the middle. That's Romero. Touchdown. West under center. Going to be an obvious throw. Right across the middle, and he's got his man. Oh, boy, what a play. Ball there at the 41-yard line. There's a throw. Wide open. Solomon makes the first man miss, and that's going to be an easy score for Solomon. 41 yards on the play.
42-25, Cy Springs over Cy Lakes. Cy Lakes falling to 0-8 on the season and in district play. Tough situation for Cy Lakes. You know, like so many others, Tompkins just in some close ball games towards the early portion of the season and just unable to find that elusive win. But a huge victory by Cy Springs as they're now even 4-4 in district play. In a very difficult, we just got done discussing, Bert, very difficult 17-6A district.
Yeah, and we'll try to get a little clearer picture here before we air off tonight. Got Mark Johnson in the background. Mark not only calls games, he's in there helping us out tonight. Russell Lambert, Jesse Wolf on the production side of tonight. And, you know, and you just can't give our crew, Dre Matula, the rest of the guys out in the field, But we'll try to get a little clarification. Mark's back looking in there to see that picture if there's a clear path to it. Got a lot still to talk about. I'll kick it back to you.
Well, we've got a couple of games in District 17-6A that are coming up tomorrow, in which I'm going to let Bailey Logsdon tell you about, and then afterwards we can discuss, and I think that'll give us a real good picture of that District 17-6A in particular. 5 more games on the docket for Saturday action. Take a look.
Coming up Saturday on TexanLive.com, Langham Creek and Cy-Fair are both in action as they look to stay perfect. Atascocita looks to stay hot as they host CE King. Cinco Ranch faces Morton Ranch, and Dickinson is on the road against Clear Falls. Texan Live, your home for live and on-demand high school sports.
And there you have it. Langham Creek, as Bailey mentioned there, coming into tomorrow's matchup against Jersey Village at a perfect 7-0. Cy-Fair as well in District 17-6A, Birdie, perfect 7-0. They'll be taking on Cy Falls, which is a big game for Cy Falls. They come into the season, or in this game tomorrow, rather, 3-4 overall, 3-4 in district play. So there's the picture as you have Langham Creek, Cy-Fair, and Cy Ranch as your 1, 2, and 3. And the Cy Creek Cougars, which, you know, suffered a disappointing defeat this evening, they now fall to an even 4-4 mark as Cy Woods, with the 59-29 victory, improve to 4-4. There's your picture.
Well, we talked about Cy-Fair and Langham Creek. They're both undefeated. If they win tomorrow, then they'll ultimately play next weekend to see who stays undefeated going into the playoffs. I don't know them big, small, so I have to be a little careful. I don't know if both of those two schools, because then you've got Cy Ranch at 6-2, Cy Falls at 4-3, Cy Woods at 4-4, Cy Creek at 4-4. So you've got 1, 2, 3 teams fighting for that fourth seat there.
Right.
So again, I don't even know what the clear picture is. We'll try to get that all lined up. It'll be on the site. You can go to TexanLive.com. We'll be tweeting. If y'all know, if you're out there watching tonight, somebody wants to tweet in to let us know, we'll greatly appreciate that, because this district, with as big a district as it is, you know, a lot of these teams play each other, and I don't know the head-to-head, so we'll get clarification on that going into next weekend.
Well, we do know this. It's a nice, tight race outside of the top 1 and 2, and so that's what you like to see, again, this time of the year, heading into playoff action. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the Humble Area Football League. Bert, you've got an awesome deal coming up on Sunday with all-day football.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that's so cool is Kingwood Football League had their Super Bowl last week, and we, you know, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, they got an opportunity to play at Turner Stadium. On Sunday, Humble Area Football League, same thing. They have their freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior Super Bowls there. Texan Live, it's something I've done for the last 6 years. And, you know, it's just one of the ways that we give back to our local community. And, of course, it's presented by TexanDrive.com, the dealerships that, you know, I run during the day and the head coach of. So that's just something that our way of giving back to our local kids and community.
Yeah, it's great for the community, great for the kids, and I'm sure the ones from Kingwood last week enjoyed Turner Stadium and playing on that field.
Well, it's just so amazing. You watch these young men, and, you know, you get to look up there. And of course, I'm not so sure a lot of the parents don't enjoy it as much as the kids do. You know, watching the parents get to see their young athletes out there on the field playing. So
sure, so many of them didn't get that opportunity. I mean, you're living vicariously through your youngster. I mean, they're going to continue to do that.
I had some grandparents actually send us emails this week that they got an opportunity out of state to watch their, you know, grandsons play football that they would normally not get to see other than in a video that maybe mom and dad put together or something.
And who else is going to do that besides Bert Brocker on TexanLive.com? Who else can bring you this kind of stuff? Great job. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, Bert.
Sean, you said it earlier, you know, these shows are getting easier, and that's the fun part. You know, we didn't get off to a great start this year because of Harvey, but when we did, we've built, and what a blast it's been, just absolutely having a fun time. We are going to for sure go 1 or 2 weeks into playoffs, just depending on how the lineups line up. So we have another 2 weeks for sure. We'll keep you posted next week on what's going on, and having a blast.
In the meantime, I say all the way. Let's go all the way.
How about them Astros, baby? World champions.
There you go. All right. Houston strong, no doubt about it. For Bert Brocker, for Bailey Logsdon, our entire crew here at TexanLive.com, I'm Sean Bajani. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.
1, 2,